Okay, real talk. Let's talk about this retroactive first offender. My client was convicted of drug trafficking in 2000. He was sentenced and he did his time. And so he was a convicted felon. He did not plead under the First Offender Act. And because he did not plead under the First Offender Act, he has been a convicted felon from the time that his sentence took place all the way up until this week on Tuesday. And so what we did was he just happened to be in the community and we were talking to him and he said, I hear you talking about this first offender retroactive application. Does it apply to me? I said, well, go ahead and get your disposition. Go ahead and give me a transcript. Let me look at it and see. And it did. And so we got his retroactive first offender awarded this week. And when he left out of court, he said to me, now, what does this mean again? I said, what this means is that you are no longer considered a convicted felon, which means that when you apply for a job and it says on that job application, have you ever been convicted of a felony? You can legally say no, because retroactive first offender means that it applies from the time that your sentence was entered and you basically have entered a sentence under first offender, which basically shields you from any kind of guilt associated with this felony. And so you've never been a convicted felon. And so he was so shocked and he kept asking me the question over and over again. So he point blank said, so this means I could vote? I said, well, you could have voted a long time ago. Then he asked me, does this mean I could get a firearm? I said, that's exactly what it means. The judge has signed off on your order and you are no longer a convicted felon. You can go get a firearm. He was so shocked that for the next 2 days, he has called our office asking the same questions over and over and over again. You've got to understand that the laws in your state may allow for you to have something similar to like what we have in Georgia, which is retroactive first offender. So if you have been convicted of a felony years ago and you didn't know that that opportunity was available to you at the time that you did your sentence, you can go back and get it now. Take advantage of these laws. You should not have one mistake affect you for the rest of your life.